President of Suriname, His Excellency Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, has departed Guyana, but not without fruitful deliberations with His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali and Guyanese officials at multiple levels. The two presidents agreed on the need for a new paradigm to guide their relations as they work to improve the lives of their citizens. Accompanied by Suriname's First Lady, Melissa Santokhi Sinachari, ministers of government, representatives of Suriname's state oil company Staatsolie, and representatives of Suriname's private sector, President Santokhi arrived in Guyana on Tuesday for an official 4-day visit. He was greeted by Prime Minister the Honorable Brigadier Mark Phillips, Minister of Health and Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Frank Anthony, and a marching band at the Chedijagan International Airport. His first official meeting with President Ali was held on Wednesday morning at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. They were joined by Dr. Anthony and Suriname's Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Business and International Cooperation, Ambassador Albert Ramdin. President Santokhi's delegation then engaged Guyana's cabinet in a plenary session discussing ways in which the countries can collaborate to improve the lives of their citizens through the provision of social and economic benefits. On Thursday, Guyana's senior minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, met with Ambassador Ramdin at the launch of the flagship store of a Surinamese company, Optique Ninon, in Georgetown. Dr. Singh said Guyanese and Surinamese businesses should see the two countries as a single economic space. To this end, Dr. Singh revealed that the two heads of state have been exploring how they can achieve a more effective integration of the shared economic space.
While Guyana and Suriname have been sitting next to each other since time immemorial, and while there has been movement of people back and forth across the river, I believe you will agree with me that the economic potential of our proximity has not nearly realized the fullness of its potential.
Ambassador Ramdin said the two countries are on track to realize that potential.
We'll come to that point at some point in the future, but in fact, what they are saying is we are one market and we have to expand that market. It creates business opportunities, it creates opportunities for growth, investment, and employment.
Meanwhile, the presidents and private sector representatives of both countries gathered at the Pegasus Hotel for a breakfast engagement. There, President Ali called on the private sectors of both countries to be bold in going after opportunities across borders.
We want the private sectors of both countries to work towards building trust. When you build trust, you build partnership. When you build partnership, you build capacity. When you build capacity, you build a foundation to win.
Governments, both presidents, are fully committed to a mutually beneficial economic partnership that goes beyond just doing business. We are ready and willing to facilitate the private sector from both countries to do business. We want to involve the private sector of both countries in all the initiatives to work independently or in public-private partnership. It is up to you to take charge of the opportunities and the facilitation of business.
In the afternoon, ministers from both governments signed cooperation agreements heralding joint efforts in the areas of health and agriculture at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. Guyana's Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, and Suriname's Minister of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, Parmanan Sudian, signed the protocol concerning the trade in fresh agricultural produce. This would see the two countries meeting international obligations, treaties, and guidelines on the treatment of commercial shipments of agricultural produce, as Guyana and Suriname help each other access the markets of Europe and North America, respectively. Meanwhile, Minister Anthony and Ambassador Ramdin signed the agreement on the establishment of services in the field of healthcare. The Ministries of Health are expected to strengthen strategic collaboration, provide effective capacity building for healthcare personnel, and specialty treatment for patients. The ministries will also develop joint programs, especially in professional healthcare and public health services, disease control, diagnostic imaging, laboratory services, pharmaceutical services, and research. Cooperation is also expected in the fight against the coronavirus. President Santoki is in agreement with the advice President Ali has given on the solution to the pandemic.
I reiterate what was stated by my colleague and friend, that as regard the COVID pandemic, that we should urge our both nation, our both people, to take the vaccine and follow the vaccination strategy of both nations. And that's the only way to keep our nation, to keep our community safe.
Presidents Ali and Santoki then held a press conference where they spoke about some of the many areas of cooperation they had resolved to pursue and fielded questions from the media. Guyana and Suriname were able to settle on the model for which the highly anticipated quarantine bridge will adopt. Presidents Ali and Santoki said interested contractors will have to design, finance, build, operate, and own the bridge, which will facilitate trade and travel between the two countries. Both governments are moving to choose one of the 8 shortlisted companies to construct the Guyana-Suriname bridge.
Our sides also have agreed that a working group would be established that includes the addition of the Ministers of Finance to determine the investment and concessions package that would accompany this expression of interest.
We have paved the way for uplifting this generation, and it pleases me to say we did so in a sustainable manner, ensuring the well-being of future generations.
Recognizing the vast potential of Guyana and Suriname's oil and gas sectors, Presidents Ali and Santoki have indicated that the two countries will jointly strategize.
We have decided that a working group would be established to come up with a joint gas strategy for both countries. But that strategy would be linked to the frontier development of both Guyana and Suriname.
Within a short period of time, a design proposal will be presented for a clear strategy how to exploit the gas of the two nations for the industrial development in the west side of Suriname and the east side of Guyana.
Suriname and Guyana have also agreed to jointly approach the area of environment and climate change to come up with a common strategy for both Guyana and Suriname, especially in preparation for the 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference, and also in exploring the possibility of merging the two countries' forest assets in the carbon credit market.
Both Guyana and Suriname recognize that we have a valuable asset in Vice President Barry Jagdeo in this field of environment, and we've agreed that he would lead a delegation to Suriname before COP26 to look at the coordination of our strategies and also to work with our counterparts in Suriname in coming up with a common strategy in dealing with climate change and the environment.
Let me assure you that with this visit, we invested the taxpayers' money wisely, if that should be an issue. We come out with these discussions with the intentions of becoming a stronger unity, assuring our mutual growth, for example, in the field of renewable and non-renewable energy,
In our ever-changing global economy, strengthening our global position is crucial for both nations.
President Santoki also issued an invitation to President Ali to pay a visit to Suriname at a mutually convenient time.